Hello and welcome to the Pop Pod, another episode of the Pop Pod, another guest that I am very excited about. I keep saying that every week, but I'm genuinely lining these people up based on what albums, songs I've been loving recently. And this is one that I have been exceptionally excited about because I think that it is a great record. I'm talking about Ravyn Lenae and her new album, Blue Island. Ravyn was actually, I interviewed her probably at the top of last year. I actually think the interview appeared on the Pop Pod on one of the very early episodes. It was only like a 10-minute conversation. And at that time, Love Me Not was starting to show some promise on TikTok. People were mashing it up with Solange's Losing You. Obviously, what's happened since has been crazy. The song now has 1.3 billion streams, and now she's giving us her third album. This is always sort of a scary moment for an artist who has blown up like that, because obviously there are a lot of new eyes and ears on you, and also there's a whole new set of expectations. And what was so immediately clear to me listening to this album is that Ravyn has not really listened to anything of what people wanted or expected from her. She's followed her artistic impulse, and this album is just really stylistically blowing the box open for her of what she can do. It's obviously really movable at points. It's got some alternative elements to it, some dance elements, obviously some soul and R&B and pop in there as well. But it's all tied together, I think, by the fact that Ravyn is just such a capable artist who knows exactly who she is and exactly what she wants to do and exactly how she wants to extend her artistry and treat this career much more than just a viral moment. There is a much longer path being walked down here, and I think that that is genuinely very exciting, and that is something that I talked about a lot in our conversation. We met up over the weekend just after she released Blue Island, and so we talked a lot about that album, obviously a lot about the influences of it, some that actually surprised me. But ultimately, I think that what she says throughout this chat is just a great piece of advice for any artist who is trying to follow up a moment that has blown up for them. It's really impressive how she's just stuck to her guns, and it was cool to watch the response to this album after it dropped on Friday and all the people really getting the vision of it. That's all I'm going to say for now, but I'm excited for you to hear this conversation that we had. If you like the Pop Pod, make sure you're following or subscribe to it wherever you listen or watch to it. There are plenty of previous episodes that I think you'll like. Recently, we had Flo on, and we've also had Charlie XCX, BB Rexha, Jessie Ware, the list goes on, and we've got some great ones coming up for you as well. It also really helps if you have the time to just throw us a 5-star review, helps get the word out about the Pop Pod. You can also follow us on Instagram. That's all the housekeeping done for today. Let me get you into my conversation with Ravyn Lenae. Ravyn Lenae, welcome to the podcast. This is really fun. I feel like I'm going to need 3 or 4 hours with you. I won't take that long, but I do have a lot to ask you. But firstly, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. You know I love you.
Thank you. I mean, I feel like we've been on a bit of a journey because I spoke to you maybe 2 years ago almost. And I remember we were talking about the fact that people had started to use Love Me Not as a sound on TikTok. I mean, now here we are.
I know.
1.3 billion streams later, I think.
Crazy. I can't, but every time I look at it, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, how do you even conceptualize that? Is it? I imagine at a point it just becomes bigger than yourself.
I think that's what started to happen. I remember early on when this has started to track online and on TikTok, you want to watch the numbers by the hour, because it just feels like over the minutes, everyone's seeing the song, recognizing the song, using the song, dancing to it and streaming it. It just almost feels like an out-of-body experience in a really cool way. And then all of a sudden it almost feels like it takes on a life of its own, and then you're you kind of let go of the reins
a little bit. This is not mine anymore.
Yeah, totally.
And then this happens, you're obviously touring a lot at that time. And on top of that, we now have your third album, Blue Islands. When did you find the time?
Literally in between singing Love Me Not everywhere in the world.
Honestly. Yeah.
Anytime I wasn't doing that, I was in the studio. Like there was really no idle time. I just knew that I felt inspired, and you know, having such a major like moment in my career that I have been like dreaming about for so long. Yeah. That's like all the inspiration you need to feel like I want to get back in the studio. How do we make more magic, and how do we let's keep this going? You know what I mean? So honestly, it just felt natural for me to keep doing it.
Do you think part of it's like ambition? I imagine once things start to like really work, you're like, now I can really take this where I want to take it.
For sure. I think a lot of this past year and what's been so cool about it, and you know, just this transition for me has been really like seeing what's possible. And I think as an artist that's working for so long, you have like some type of like idea of what's possible, and it almost feels like like out in the stars. But then once it kind of lands here, it's like, wait, this is so tangible. I can feel it. I can taste it. Why wouldn't I go harder? And like, why wouldn't I be hungrier? And I don't know. It creates this like beautiful but also unhealthy dynamic with ambition, because now it's like, I want more. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, that can be a trap, because it's like, there's a lot of people around. You can say yes to a lot of things. Yes. It's probably the most important time in your career, I imagine, to take control of your artistry and really understand who you are. Like, did you feel at a moment that you were like, okay, I need to take a breath, figure out who Ravyn Lenae is and what she wants to make?
Yeah, I feel like I'm having to like reapproach that mindset every day, honestly. And honestly, what I realized while, you know, I was having that moment with Love Me Not, I'm like, I felt like I was operating, and still am, from this scarcity mindset that I have built over the years of, you know, like hoping and wishing for certain opportunities to come knocking, and when they do, feeling like I can't ever say no, in a way. Yeah. And I think now it's like, okay, let's take a step back and try to, like you said, balance between things I should absolutely say yes to and are great and fulfilling and inspiring, and then things that like, okay, maybe I need like a mental health day or just a day to watch Catfish and not even think. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm finding that balance, but like you said, it's like, it's a tough thing to like grapple when, you know, you have so many positive things coming. Yeah. You know?
And I imagine it feels like time is moving so quickly that you're just like, to even have the space to make those decisions and make the right decisions will be difficult. But now we're here like talking about Blue Islands. What I loved watching yesterday, for context, for anyone watching, we're recording this the day after the album dropped, and what was great to watch is everybody being like, she really stuck to her guns. Like, it's not you trying to repeat Love Me Not. I mean, the spirit of Love Me Not is going to be in your music no matter what, because it's yours. But me listening to the album, I was like, this just feels like a development, and it feels like you found a way to move forward without feeling like you really had to stay in this Love Me Not moment.
Yeah, I saw you say that online, and I really just appreciated that take, because I feel like it's coming from a very considered place that understands how, you know, an artist like me, it's just easy to get wrapped up in a moment like that and like sucked into it.
Because we've seen it so many times, and no shade to anybody who like tries to repeat that success, because as you said, it's like contagious.
It's contagious. You want to, but what I realized in the studio, even coming back, it's just like, it's not possible to repeat, you know? There's no true recipe to a hit song. I think it's really just creating that, the environment that allows for freedom and like and pure creativity in the studio. That's all you can really ask for, and then from there you breed great music that hopefully resonates globally. But there's no like, okay, you do that, and you do that, and that makes it perfect. You know what I mean?
There's no recipe at all.
And
I also think like virality it's great to have a viral moment, but it doesn't necessarily fuel longevity. Like,
So
it's
true.
really you knowing who you are as an artist. And what I got from this album, I was like, as somebody who's been a fan of you like since Sticky,
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't feel like I don't know her anymore, you know? And sometimes it can feel like that when an artist really blows up. As a fan from day one, you can feel disconnected. But I was like, this is so different to what you've done. And at the same time, I know it's you in there.
I appreciate that, Sam. I appreciate that a lot, because that's what I wanted to come across. You know? Because even like there were moments where obviously my day one fans, you know, are attached to a certain sound from me or however they heard me. I understand when you first discover an artist, that's the sound you just hold so dear.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like you almost feel it transports you back to that time. Maybe you were 16, just like me. It just does something to the brain.
Yeah.
You know. So for me, it almost felt like growing pains, like this last year with me and like my diehard lifelong fans who I love so much.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it was important for me, like, just to keep pushing what I think is cool. That's just like literally all I want to do with music, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's interesting to me that this conversation of like R&B popped up a lot online because to me, you've never made straight down the line music in any genre. I mean, like the first album was very influenced by like dance sounds, and then the second album I feel like there was like Motown influences, but there was alternative rock references as well. And then this one totally blows the box open. So it's funny to me that you can be pigeonholed in a certain way.
Same. What I like to chalk it up to is that I think when people don't really know how to play something and it feels a little familiar and unfamiliar, we have to do this thing where we trick ourselves into this label that may or may not make sense, you know. But honestly, when people call me an R&B singer, that feels right. When people call me a pop singer, that feels right. When people call me an alt pop, that feels right. I'm somebody who wants to try everything. Like, that's what's so fun about music, you know, and what keeps me excited and inspired in it. I want to try everything. So, I think a lot of this album was me kind of coming to terms with the fact that is me, and that I do like to play with the full, you know, coloring box of color and see what comes up. And
you should be allowed to.
Thank you.
There's the energy of Bird's Eye. It had this, like, I know that there was like, you were really like moving through a lot of stuff on there, but it did have like a very calm, considered atmosphere to it. This one does not. It's a restless album, and I love that. It feels very kind of like I don't know, it feels like you've got like ants moving through your body or something, which I love. And I wonder like when you landed on that kind of sound for it.
I think it just naturally happened that way because that's what I was feeling. I felt restless. I felt anxious. I felt nervous. I felt confident. I felt bold. I felt loud. I felt confused, you know? So this is almost a manifestation, like sonically, of exactly like what that tension was for me, where I felt like, oh, something is being realized for the first time, and I'm welcoming so many new people into that world and vision. There's so much change happening around me at like lightning speed, you know, that is angsty and like loud and obnoxious and I don't know, almost like animalistic and chaotic. I needed to get that feeling across with it, you know? So I'm glad you feel that way.
I think you described it as like a transitional album. It definitely feels like that in terms of the movement and the energy of it. But at the same time, it does feel like, as much as it's a transition, the place that it's gotten you to. I mean, the place where you get to at the end with Let Us In, that really surprised me. I was like, wow.
It almost didn't make it, honestly.
I'm so glad it did.
Okay,
oh
good.
My gosh.
I was like, this is too crazy to end on this note. Maybe we should land on something sweet and like, you know, vulnerable and enlightening. I
mean, for someone who, you know, like I'm a Days diehard, that song is everything to me. And so that's where I would have thought that I wanted it to go, but when you landed on that, I was like, wow. And it also feels like the mission statement of the album of like, let's break this box open and let's try some new shit out.
I love your brain. You just get it. That's exactly what that ending felt like to me.
Yeah.
It's even like the lyrics of it is like, and the feeling is like me punching my way through this space that like I want to exist in, that a lot of Black girls want to exist in, you know, that feels impossible or like the odds are stacked, you know. Let us in. I don't know.
And there's also like catharsis in angst as well, like entering that space with angst and finding the fun in it as well, because that is a really fun place to land on.
For sure.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm a little bit pissed off. Like let me the fuck in.
Let me in, please. I've been waiting outside.
Was there a song in particular that you think once you landed on it, you were like, okay, this is really where I want to take this album?
Honestly, one of like the most important songs on the album to me is Baby Girl. Yeah. And I remember when we made that one, it just felt like the epitome of just the message of where I am right now. And it almost feels like you're walking through my mind and the mind of, I don't know, a girl navigating the world, navigating the industry, and someone who may feel a little offbeat or left of center or doesn't know exactly where she fits in the whole landscape of everything, but like trusting that her path is right and it'll lead her to where she needs to be. Yeah. You know? It's such a beautiful sentiment to me and like important, especially for girls who feel the same way. And Doechii is like my sister.
Perfect person to be on it. I also love that you previously like teamed up with her on Ecstasy, the remix, and just to see like what has happened to both of you in that time, and to see you come back and talk about that experience on a song. I mean, Doechii, somebody who was like a little lost in the industry at points and really landed on where she needed to be when she took control of everything and was like, you're going to get a mixtape that like I want to give you, that nobody else wants to give you.
That was such a powerful year to me. Like, and I just
the music in general, a very powerful year.
Man. But like her journey specifically, I think is something to really like admire, you know, when someone really just stays true to exactly what they want to do and they're rewarded for it. That's just like, that's a win for everybody.
And it's fun to cheer it on from the sidelines. And actually, while it was happening for Love Me Not, it was happening for quite a few artists who have been on the grind for a while. I mean, Tinashe had just come off like having a great period. Charlie, XCX, like Chapel. It just felt like, and I was like,
now Slater
as well.
Suki.
Yeah.
Like all the girls are just like doing the thing.
Exactly. And I think that it's a really cool moment in music right now that can happen. I know that things aren't perfect right now with music, but it feels like those moments are becoming more possible right now.
It's like the most exciting thing ever. That songs that you felt might not have gotten the chance and needed to, it's just like free for all right now. And that's just so exciting. And I think it's so easy, especially for artists who kind of came up before like the internet period that we're in now. I understand how it can be discouraging and almost a little like overwhelming, but like you gotta really like look at the opportunity that's there. I don't know, that's how I have to really reframe it in my mind, you know? I don't know, Dom, Baby Doll, like what's going on?
Exactly,
it's
what like, is going on?
No rules.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That no rules is like the best way to put it. And I feel like maybe this album would have looked a lot different if this moment had happened for you. 10 years ago, they would have been like, get on a DJ's song. Like, let's get the biggest writers in the world in, you know? Like, you would have been on the biggest EDM song ever. And nobody would have known who the hell it was on it, you know?
Times have changed.
Times have absolutely changed. And I feel like the fact that you were able to make this album with a lot of people that you trust. I know that there's like new names in there as well, but Dahi is obviously somebody who's been like quite a consistent for you. That must be nice to harbor a space that's comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when like there's trust built, you know. I loved he loved his family. We made this album like in his house, and his kids would come downstairs and play with us for a little while, and they scream and sing all the songs, and then we go back upstairs. I don't know. Something just feels good when it feels natural and like it's family, you know. And I don't know, like us having that moment together too was really special. And I didn't even realize this at the time, but I remember when we celebrated 1 billion streams on Love Me Not, he told me this was like one of his biggest songs ever. And I'm just
really?
I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, Kendrick, Drake, like what?
Like,
but it's just so cool that even someone who I look up to and who I think has like done it all, there's just still like more to accomplish and like more magic to make.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And you've done it together, and now you get to like walk this path together.
Yeah, exactly.
In a different direction, I think is really cool.
Exactly.
One of the songs that when it dropped, I was like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for from her Saturday night.
Yeah. I love that one too.
It's so good. And it has the energy of like, you know what was going on around the time where like Dev Hynes was really like popping off as a producer. And you got Sky Ferreira and Solange and everybody.
I love Dev.
It's really got that alternative kind of spirit to it, but with a bit of Janet Jackson like dance in it as well. But I'm particularly interested by the way you sing on the chorus because it feels quite different for you.
Yeah, that was an intentional thing. When we first wrote the song, it was just guitar. So it almost had like this Fleetwood Mac thing to it. Yeah. And that's kind of where that tone came from. And I remember we were like, oh, that beat's not working. Or it feels too Fleetwood in a way. And I'm like, how can we like take this a little left? And we tried like 5 different versions of this song, 5 different verses, but the hook I always knew I loved because I wrote it just came out of me, especially when I heard the chords. But once we changed it and we landed on this beat behind it, I was like, should I change the vocal approach in the hook? I don't know if that works anymore, you know? And then like we kind of agreed that it gives it something a little odd and unexpected. So I don't know, but it was fun to play.
I love it. It's like a totally different new pocket of your voice. Yeah. And I remember when I was playing it for like friends for the first time, they were like, who is this? And I was like, it's Ravyn Lenae. They're like, really? Which I think is so cool. That's for like sick. To be on your 3rd album and for people to still be like discovering new aspects of what you can do.
That's so sick. That's fun for me even, you know, to be able to just find more ways to play.
I did love yesterday. There were a few like things going on in my comments where people were like, no, it sounds like Fleetwood Mac. And other people were like, no, it sounds like Janet Jackson. And I'm like, to have people arguing at those polar opposites is really cool, you know?
That is the point. I love music that you can't like put your finger on. It just feels like a mash of like multiple things that shouldn't coexist but does. But do. It's my favorite shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And particularly in this generation that we've grown up in, where we've had access to all types of music, you know? It's like, I always call it the iPod shuffle generation, where like genre kind of gets blown open because we never grew up having just access to the one thing that we were interested in. And I feel like that comes across with you. I love how much of an influence Fleetwood Mac is, like particularly on Bird's Eye, but I do think it carries across here at times in songs like Bobby as well.
For sure. That one, I'm such a huge fan of Saya Gray, and she helped me with that
Saya
song.
Gray.
Yeah, she's incredible.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a co-writer on that song.
Wow.
Yep.
What was the decision to put out Reputation and Bobby at the same time?
So Reputation I made shortly after I turned in Bird's Eye. So it was one of the first songs I technically had for Blue Island. And I always loved that song, and it just felt right to have that one come first. And I remember with the last album doing like kind of a double release for like the first single around the album, and I thought that would be a cool idea this time too. Yeah. Originally the idea was to have Reputation and I think Never Let Me Go or Baby Girl. But then I remember talking with my team about it and like really getting down to why I wanted those two to exist together, because sonically Bobby and Reputation like I want to hear those together, you know?
Yeah.
But I remember going through this process of saying, am I scared to put Reputation out on its own? Because I think my fans would like get scared or get protective over where the album was going, you know?
Interesting.
But
yeah.
I ultimately made the decision to put Reputation and Bobby out together because that's what sounds good together.
Yeah,
it
does sound good.
You know?
It's interesting because anything that you would have picked to release almost would have been a red herring for where the album was actually going.
And I had to really stay true to that. And that was probably one of the first moments in the rollout where I had to make a decision that felt right, but also like scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something as simple as that.
No, but I mean, that's kind of the move that's like the scariest to do after a
Yeah.
moment like what Bird's Eye
For sure.
did.
Even with Bird's Eye, like I remember I put out Love Me Not and Love Is Blind at the same time.
I always forget this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
There's someone that I saw you reference, note in an interview when you were talking about some of the influences, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Nelly Furtado came up, and I was like, this is something that I'd never considered, but it's so true. Like what she was doing in terms of like really organic instrumentation on albums that came before like the Timbaland one with I'm Like a Bird. She was kind of an alternative girl.
Yeah.
Folk. Yeah. And then she was able to take that and not lose it, but put it into something that was like dance, R&B.
It's the coolest shit ever.
Everything. I feel like she doesn't get enough credit for how cool that shit was.
No, she doesn't. Especially that Loose album, I feel, is one of the best pop albums ever.
It's amazing.
I will always scream about Nelly because I just think it's so cool when a girl is able to merge all those worlds and be equally successful at all of them.
Yeah.
You know? And I just, like, Loose is the perfect album to me because you have those big pop chords, and then you have these kind of chanty, like hypnotic hooks, but then you have these really weird, like off-kilter drum pockets that everyone isn't really supposed to be able to hit and get and dance to, but everyone surprisingly does. Yeah. It has everything you could ever want. And I feel I'm just so inspired by that type of like mixture and potion.
And isn't that the coolest thing about pop music, I think, when you can take moments that are like alternative or from the underground or from spaces that aren't necessarily mainstream.
Yes.
And package it in something that can be like quite ubiquitous. Yes. Which is exactly what she did.
Yes. And what I'm seeing happen like now, like Charlie, Slater, I love those girls. I just like when I see something like being popularized that's bold and that's like scary territory. It's just cool as fuck to me.
And people know there's only so much that you can sell to somebody before they sniff out a fake. And people know when you've tapped into the most authentic version of yourself. And it's why it's happening for Slater right now, because people are like, I get exactly who she is right now.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you.
And it's why you can kind of chase these moments that feel right and might be good to get like a mainstream moment. Yeah. But as soon as you lose kind of your artistry in that, it's really hard to get the audience back on side.
They can sniff it out.
Yeah.
Like people are not dumb.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, people are not dumb.
I wonder how, because a lot of what I've been saying when like a new artist will ask for advice or something, I'm like, focus your attention on your core fan base and really like water that plant because it's exceptionally important. Like they're the people who will stay with you. Yeah. They're the people who will champion any changes that happen. Yes. And ultimately, like when that pool keeps getting bigger, it overflows. And that's the best thing that's happened to so many artists. And I wonder if you feel that way with how the journey that you've been on with your fans, particularly given that there's a lot of new ones now.
I completely agree with that assessment. Those are the people who were showing up when nobody cared, when nobody thought it was cool. Yeah. Those are the people in the Twitter comments defending you when other people don't get it, or or they're new to the party and don't understand the direction, you know. So that's why when I say like growing pains, like this is really my family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it feels like we're on this journey together and we're learning together, and like we have different ideas and opinions at times, but that's like the human experience. And that's why music is so beautiful, because you know, maybe certain things connect now that won't connect later, or vice versa. But I completely agree with your core fan base, like needing to be watered, and that's like really what helps it become robust in a good and sustainable way. Yeah,
because I think if you desert them and put your eyes on other things, that's when it kind of like
just gets loosey-goosey.
The center falls, you know? It was really cool to see yesterday people really getting your vision for the album and your fans, because I feel like there was a few different directions with the singles, and people were like, where is she going? Like, what sound is this? And yesterday everyone was like, we should have never not trusted her, you know? We should have known what she was doing.
Yo, trust me. I'm never ever gonna do some crazy shit. I promise. It's always, even if you don't like it, that's so fine. But like, no, it's always coming from a place of like pure integrity with it. You know, I think whenever there are like assumptions that there's some powers above me that are making me do certain things, or that's when it loses me, because that takes away my autonomy and my agency and my creativity, you know? But just know that like any creative decision I'm making is because it feels good. You know? And like,
I mean, let me tell like the people right now, like I've been following you for a long time, and I know that autonomy is like central to what you do.
I'm an Aquarius. I can't be told what to do.
Right. Yeah.
I can't.
I'm an Aries, so I also can't be told what to do, but in a very different way.
I know.
Okay, there you go. So you've got the two.
Yes. I know you.
I'm like, oh, you think I'm going to do something? Let me do something else. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me shake things up a little bit.
But I love that, like that trust is there, you know, between me and my fans, because that's important. But like, trust me, y'all. I love y'all. I love music.
I know that you're like somebody who studies music as well. Like, I feel like you're somebody who goes to other people's shows and listens to their music and is like, what lesson can I take from this for my own? Am I right in thinking that?
That's why I love to see shows too. Like, it just gives me a different perspective on even what I can bring. Like, I saw Dijon while I was on tour last year, and that was my first time seeing him live. And prior to that, I had only listened to the album maybe a couple of times, but like seeing that live, I was like, I get him. I understand him.
Man,
I get him.
I'm
in
so
it.
Cool.
I'm fully in it. And that's why I'm like, you know, sometimes going to that show really does it, you know?
Yeah.
And I know you go to a lot of shows too for that reason.
I love going to a show where I kind of don't truly get the artist and it totally clicks for me.
Like, oh, I get this.
I'm like, now, I mean, you know, like everyone listening knows, like I'm a pop head, like to the core. But I went to a Turnstile show last year and it changed my life. I was like in the pit.
I need to go.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I have bruises. I was like, I something came out of me. It's maybe the Aries. And I was like,
I need to see a video right now. You losing your mind.
There's video
Shirt
somewhere.
Off.
Yeah.
I love Turnstile. I need to see them in concert.
You got to see that live. That is a really, really cool experience.
I really need to go.
It's really cool. I mean, there's been so many amazing shows recently. I'm really inspired by the fact that people are open to like doing these kind of small rooms. Right now, I saw Charlie the other week just in like 600 cap. I think Olivia Rodrigo did a show on Friday to just a same kind of thing.
Steve did it.
Yes,
the day
exactly.
The day before my release. It's fun.
I think it's a different. Now you're playing like bigger and bigger stages, but sometimes it's nice to like bring it back in and be like, let me remind you like where we all started out on this.
I asked Steve, because he came to my release party right after that show. Because it was like right next door. And like I asked him why he did that. And he was like, I try to do that with every album I do, like right before I do a tour. One, because it's good to like come back to like where where it started and
Yeah.
where, you know, in a really like wholesome, grounding way.
Mm.
But he said it also gives him a chance to kind of test out the show and see what's working, what's
Yeah.
not working, which
Make
is
a
so
few
smart.
mistakes. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's so smart. Yeah.
That's like cool that you bring up Steve, because you guys have
Yeah.
been on such a journey together. Like Steve,
Yeah.
for people who don't know, is the producer on Sticky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's had a similar journey where he's never bent to anything.
No.
He's stayed so weird,
Yep.
and some of his biggest records are just so weird, and they
So
keep
weird.
catching on.
Yeah.
My 15-year-old niece is like such a fan of Steve Lacy,
love
and I'm like, this is really cool, because I don't think I was that cool at 15.
You're like, see, I knew I was right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
She got taste.
She really does
Yeah.
have taste. I mean, her favorites are Lana Del Rey, like
Yes.
Steve Lacy,
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys. I'm like, damn,
Okay.
like we're on the same
Okay.
page.
You're like, we
either
gang.
I'm really immature or you're like really fucking cool.
That's so funny. You gotta take her to some of your shows.
Yeah,
then.
exactly. This like podcast in general is a lot about the sort of pop. I mean, we'd say it as pop, but pop, like as we've discussed
Yeah.
throughout, changes and can be defined in any which way.
Yeah.
But I'm interested, like, what your kind of influences have been recently in terms
Yeah.
of what you're listening to.
Definitely a lot of Nelly. I like
Yeah.
that chanty thing that feels like everybody can sing it. And I do it a little bit on this album, but
Yeah.
like now I'm like really exploring that feeling because it's just fun to me. Gwen Stefani, I love.
Yes.
Santi Gold.
Shout out Santa Gold. She doesn't get enough love for what
Like-
she was doing early on, but that is one of the true pioneers in the
Yes,
alternative pop space.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna always talk about her in every interview I do.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Who else? Honestly, digging back into Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about the stuff that I really was listening to when I was
Yeah.
12. It was that.
The Lady Gaga Renaissance last year was like a
Like,
joy to watch.
I love her.
So cool.
Yeah. But just like incorporate, like when you really look at like some of the biggest artists in the world, there's something they're doing to be that big. You know what I mean? And usually it's because they're taking scoops of like every world and mashing them up.
Yeah.
And that's what makes artists who are going to live forever to me. And that's who I like studying.
And it's not the people who are trying to please
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
It's because eventually that you lose, as we said, like the center, and you can't do it. I was just
completely
I think
agree.
about this a lot with Madonna. I'm like, at
Yeah,
every
Madonna,
single turn,
Madonna.
she was doing something different.
Every turn. It's like, oh, you thought you knew me?
Yeah. Let me show you another
I
side.
gotta hear her new album. I saw you really liked it.
Oh, you've got to.
I gotta hear
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I've only heard good things about it.
This is one of my favorite things that artists do, is when they mix every single song together.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is this like continuous
did
DJ
that.
mix.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love her.
And it's also like the thing that her and Gaga have done recently
Yeah.
is kind of like go back into their old bag and
Yeah.
just be like to people, this is my sound, and don't
Yeah.
you forget that like I made
love
this shit.
that.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
really
that.
cool.
It's so cool. With her, Kylie Minogue.
Thank you
Like
for shouting
the
out a fellow
girls.
Australian.
The
Thank
girls.
you. The girls.
Oh, she is Australian.
She is
huh?
Australian, yeah. Australia
y'all got
has
some
this
shit.
really interesting relationship with pop music where we have this tall poppy syndrome. As soon as you start to do well, they're like, chop you off. So we kind of barred Kylie for a long time. And recently we've like taken her back. It sounds so ridiculous because literally one of the legends of pop music.
Okay,
like,
why recently have you taken her back?
there was something happened in Australia. You know what? I think Troye Sivan has a lot to do with it. People were suddenly like, pop music's cool, you know? And so we were like,
Thank you,
Kylie,
Troy.
come back from the UK. We're into you again.
Thank you, Troy, for your service.
Thank you, Troy, for bringing pop music back to Australia.
That is so funny. Y'all wrong. Y'all should have never did that to
We should have
Kylie.
never done it. People are crazy. I mean, yeah.
This whole time I thought she was British.
And there's a reason why you think that, because the Australians didn't stand on their business and be like, this is ours.
That is so
They
funny.
let her go. Idiots. Australians listening, like, show up for the new pop girls that come
so are y'all
out.
proud of Kevin Parker right now?
I'm very
great.
proud of Kevin Parker,
great.
yeah. I mean, maybe it's tipping to the point where they're like, you know what, too big. No, Australians will always.
Okay, good.
The Less I Know, the Better has almost become the Australian national anthem, I feel like. If that comes
Rightfully
on in
so.
a pub, you know, like, that's...
Rightfully so.
And a great example of an artist who has really made their own sound and is somehow now at the dead center of pop
Isn't it
music.
crazy?
It's crazy.
I just love to see that. I love when I see artists who've been around still having these peaks. You know? It just gives you so much to look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And almost like, obviously this moment is important for you, but at the same time, like, you've got so much time to show people who you are as an artist. Like, everything is not make or break, which I think is exciting.
It's so liberating once you like wrap your brain around that, you know, because then everything doesn't feel so precious when you know that this is something you love and that you're good at and there's more to pour out of you forever. That's like, I don't know. That's the dream right there.
Yeah. Is there a song you're most excited to play live from this?
Probably, that's hard. In and Out is super fun live.
Yeah, In and Out's so good.
And then I think Find It One Day is just that moment where the spotlight's on me and like all the lighters are up.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like I haven't had
You've
a
heard
song
that
like
right
that.
now. Get your lighters out. When that song's on, lighters out.
Lighters out. Like I haven't had a proper like ballad like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. That's interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
In and Out, though, that's going to go hard.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one that I feel like was there to kind of surprise people because the album kind of leads you in and like it's a little bit of a like softer entrance and then you hit that spot and that's when the restless energy really kicks in.
For sure. That one was so fun to make because I feel like if you see me live, you know that I like to kind of play with this almost theatrical thing with my eyes and my hands and my body. And I feel like that song just like encapsulates all those characters. It feels like sticky. It feels like, I don't know, Love Me Not. It just has that thing about it, you know, that you want to sing along to.
Discussing it as characters is really cool, I think, because it goes back to like being one-dimensional that people expect like there's one character. It's just like not real if there is.
Storybook. Characters, you know.
Like, get me on any particular day, you're going to get a very different version of me. I always ask if you had, like, to show people an album where you were like, this to me is pop music. What would you show them? Like, not necessarily the best pop album of all time, but one to you where you're like, this to me shows what you can do.
Janet Jackson, All For You. That to me shows what you can do.
So good.
Yeah. Just like, that is pop music and it's soulful. It's rooted in something real. It's experimental. There are big pop hooks on it. It's musical, jazzy at points.
She just doesn't like get enough credit for how much she blew boxes open because Velvet Rope I was listening to the other day and I'm like, this is such a personal and at times quite dark record. But it also has these huge pop songs on it. Like Together Again is just one of the biggest pop songs ever.
I like when those worlds can coexist with each other like naturally, you know. Where like someone's like cool to the world but also cool to the really cool girls. You know? I like when that happens.
Is there something in this new album where you're like, I really like what we were exploring with that. And I'm interested next time to like keep digging into that.
That's a great question.
Like what's your reputation on the next album? You know, like what's going to inform the first single?
I think there's something really cool about Saturday Night that I want to keep like knocking on. I like that the electronic element to it, but also like it almost, like I said, it feels like a Fleetwood Mac type of hook over that. And like that feels weird and cool and like you want to sing along to it. I think that's the world I want to keep like dipping my toes into. Yeah, similarly, like MGMT does that kind of chanty thing really well.
Yeah,
so
I love that you brought that up, because I feel like that kind of like 2010s alternative like blog like indie kind of thing is very much in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like focusing on right now. Like a lot of MGMT, Phanogram, like that feeling, Empire and Sun, like that feeling.
And I wonder if it's like introduces a different type of movement into your live show. I mean, I saw like some of the Spotify canvases for like In and Out, and I was like, this is cool where you can take this movement wise.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of blew the door open on like really how far I can go with just expression, you know? And I didn't even make a deliberate decision that I want to dance now. It just kind of just started to naturally happen with the way the songs were going, with, you know, the energy I was feeling that I felt like needed to get out, you know?
Yeah.
It's just fun to be able to like keep challenging myself and push down doors that I thought were locked.
Yeah.
You know?
The best kind of dancing to me is when there's something in there that you need to shake off, you know?
Yeah.
Like we went through a lot of 2010s, like put your hands in the air, like have the best night of your life, the world will be over tomorrow, but who cares tonight? We're kind of in this moment right now where it's like, yeah, we want to dance, but we've got some shit to work through, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I think a lot of the movement around this album was just inspired by that type of feeling that like even people like Lady Gaga or like Solange, like movement that just feels just like free and like real, like expression and not super like choreographed to the T or super like diva, which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
But I also know that like I know how I like my body to feel in certain shapes and movements, and I like to bring that theatrical thing out through the music. So it's been fun to like figure out like, how do I like to move, and like what type of shapes do I like to make? And like, do I want it to feel a little creepy at times and a little like witchy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember seeing Solange for the first time do it when she was in like the Losing You era. And I was like, this is the first time that I feel like I can literally see the energy like flowing through somebody's body. It was just like coming out, and you were like, let me get a piece of that.
Sometimes that just lands. You know? When it just feels free and like real.
Do you ever go into a show where you feel like you've got something to get off your chest, and at the end you're like,
that was good. Yeah. Usually when that happens, I'm like, do we have more time? And like, do I have more songs I can sing? You know? I love when those type of shows happen. Honestly, Primavera felt like that for me this year. It was the first time I like sang some of these new songs.
Festival.
I love that fest. Oh my God. I would love to just go as a fan one year.
What time was your set, just out of interest? Because I've seen like the headliner there at like 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
It's late.
I think it was like the sun was starting to go down.
Okay,
so maybe,
all right, you got an
okay, yeah, it was a good time.
Appropriate
it was
time.
A good time.
Yeah.
3 a.m. You know, it rained too, so everybody got pushed back, and it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
it was crazy.
My turnstile time was at Primavera at 4 a.m. on the final day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, you were hallucinating.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there anymore. So I was somewhere else. I need to see them when I'm in a
no, you don't.
calm state of mind. Yeah.
I think you need to be in that
I need
state.
to be in that
moment. So funny.
The question that I always end on is, Ravyn Lenae, what is to you a 10 out of 10 pop song? I mean, we've kind of touched on it with the Janet thing, but we can take it somewhere else. We can discuss the options. We can workshop.
10 out of 10 pops. Wow.
I like asking this question because everybody approaches it so differently.
10 out of 10.
Like the sort of song that you just put on.
Yeah.
And you know that it's just going to hit in the right way every time.
Okay. Can I say more than one?
You can say more than one, but then we're going to like go through the options. And we'll work
you gotta edit me down. Okay. First one that comes to mind is Licky Lee Little Bit.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect song.
Just saw her a couple weeks ago. What a legend.
Where you see her?
Yeah, in London. She was supporting Wolf Alice, I think.
You're living the life I want to live.
Yeah.
Like, truly.
I mean,
truly.
we can swap for a minute.
Please.
I'm not sure people will be very happy when I get up there to do Love Me Not on Saturday night.
You'll be fine.
But yeah.
You'll be fine. She is like, I really want to work with her one day.
That's a really good answer. What a legend.
Perfect song.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. Lady Gaga, Paparazzi. Perfect song. We are the clouds, we're coming out. It's just perfect.
The way that you sung that reminded me of Saturday Night,
yes.
because she has this way of really
does.
like announcing everything that she's saying in this kind of really like stern
it's
voice.
Like, hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Listen now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That song, I just remember seeing that. I think I associate my favorite pop songs too with like how I discovered them. Like I remember she played that one on the VMAs, and that was the year that she like hung from the rope and like there was blood coming down. It was just like the most insane performance.
It's crazy.
Ever. And I was like, oh, this is what a pop star is supposed to do. This is what it's supposed to do.
For a moment, it felt like that was the bar, and everybody was like, how do I go
do
crazier? Like, shit was so weird for a minute.
It was. It's like, okay, bleeding out on stage. How do I top that?
Ravyn Lenae at the VMAs this year, just dead.
Epic. Okay, that one, and then as a little girl, I remember being in my playroom with my little sister, and we had a TV in there, and I remember the Say It Right video came on, Nelly, and me being like, what is this? That's a perfect pop song to me.
That song is so damn
it's
good.
It's perfect. I think the perfect pop song is supposed to feel like exuberant, but also something has to feel a little haunting about it, and like a little dark, a little moody, a little creepy. That all needs to like. It can't be happy. It can't be just happy.
That song, even as a kid, confused me. I was like, is this
like,
happy? Is it sexy?
Sad?
Is it sad? Like, I'm like, what is going on right now? My brain chemistry is changing.
It's all of it.
Yeah.
I like when it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And still to this day, nobody has figured out the magic in that song. No. There's no answer. There's literally no answer to what's going on.
No. I think we all just need to start by doing
I saw a video the other day of Timbaland performing it. Obviously, Nelly is not there, and he's just going, But people will sing that bit. That bit is just as important, you know? I love that.
I think let's just all start there. Let's put that in our songs and go from there.
Next single for you, just
He's so funny for that.
All right, so we have Say It Right, we have Paparazzi, and we have Little Bit by Licky Lee.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take it today? Where are we going to crown it?
Oh, Sam.
This is hard even for me because these would all be in my pool of answers as well.
Maybe Say It Right today.
It feels right. It feels like the right answer for where you are right now. Yeah. Say it right.
Say it right.
This has been such a pleasure. You know how much I appreciate your work and how much I love your work. But just seeing this album come out, seeing you stick to your guns, push the boundaries, like try new sounds and remain so uniquely yourself is like such a pleasure to watch. So thank you from me and on behalf of all your fans. But thank you for doing this. This has been really fun.
And thank you for all your support.
Always.
Love chatting with you.